Hi everyone, and welcome to Junk Journal January 2023. I'm thrilled to be a part of this year's event with 29 fabulous creatives, hosted by Meg at Meg's Journals in collaboration with Get Messy. Details are in the description box below, along with a link to the playlist. And remember, it's never too late to join in. I'm here with day 25, and our prompt is one color. This is the journal that I made for this event. The cover is inky watercolor paper with wonky cutout circles and stitching. It's filled with various vintage papers that I look forward to filling up. And one more thing, please excuse my inky fingers. I've been working on several projects and I don't wear gloves. I reserved 2 pages for this prompt, but now I'm not sure if I still want to use both. So right now I'm going to work on the right page and wait to see how things unfold. But I do know that I want to start by adding collage and gesso, so that's how I'm going to get started. Once I'm done, I will gesso both pages and let it dry completely. Now for some inky, messy fun. I'm going to start with these distressed mica sprays and a small gel plate. The colors are frosted juniper, brushed pewter, and tarnished brass. If you don't have a gel plate, you can substitute plastic packaging for this application, and if your gel plate is large, you can lay your journal page on top of the gel plate to grab the medium, then follow the same process. You'll also need a spray bottle of water. When it comes to working with one color, I have a couple of considerations. While you can use that one color in different shades and hues, my approach is always to add a contrasting color, whether it be black, white, or in this case, the brushed pewter and tarnished brass. It adds that subtle depth and interest. You can start with any color, really, but for me, I decided to start with the frosted juniper. Whatever color you choose, start lightly because you can always add more later. Just use a spray or two, then a bit of water to help it flow and apply it to your spread. This color reminds me of Payne's Gray, which is an all-time fave of mine. And here I'm trying to move the ink, and then I grabbed the first brush that I saw on my desk, which would have worked better if it was a round brush. But then I noticed a can of dust off on my desk, so I grabbed that and used it to move the ink. And I'm telling you, this was totally serendipitous, it was unexpected and unplanned. I'm so glad I went for it, because I'm loving the effect and having lots of fun with it. And if you don't have this product, you can just use a straw and blow through it for a similar effect. Next, I'm going to use tarnished brass followed by brushed pewter in the same way. Now you can repeat all or any one color that you like as many times as you like. I kept mine simple and stopped when I had that frosty feel that I was aiming for. Just let your page dry thoroughly when you're done and ready for the next application. I want to add some deeper blue tones, so now I'm going in with a distress ink. This is chipped sapphire and water soluble. I'm not sure how this will work with permanent ink, so I suggest practicing on a scrap piece of paper before moving on. And if you choose to use distress oxide ink, know that the color will appear chalky, which is a nice option. I'm going to use the same technique that we previously did with the sprays. Once the page dried completely, it did get lighter. So again, if you want more color, just repeat the process. I know I want to put my focal piece in the lower right-hand corner of this page, and I decided to add another element to the background. So I went through my stencils and found this snowflake one. I wish I could give you the brand and the name of it, but I found it at a scrapbook store, so it could be from a number of sources. If you know, or when I find that information, I'll be sure to add it to the description box below. Or you can skip this step altogether if you prefer. I'm going to use a heavy body acrylic in titanium white and apply it haphazardly onto the page. I seem to be on this subtle kick, so I'll call this done and let it dry. Next, I'll return with my focal piece and we'll talk about that. And here's my little focal piece. It was really easy to put together. Most of these elements are by Tim Holtz. I used a journal card that featured, to me at least, the winter theme, and it had all the right colors. I just added one of his paper dolls, took some sewn crepe paper, also by Tim Holtz, and used a great technique by Paula Cheney, who, by the way, I believe is one of the original Tim Holtz designers. And I love how this adds texture and interest. Then I used a loop pin and a snowflake charm to dangle from the trim. Final touches include using vintage style tape by Dee Dee at Wow Studios, the caption Snow Fairy, and stamping the number 25 in the tag box, which was already on the journal card. To be honest, I wasn't sure I was going to do anything on this page, let alone knowing what I wanted to do. So before I got started, I went through my stash of collage and painted papers for inspiration, and I'm so glad that I did. I had papers in the right shade of blue to work with. I love the contrast. It's bold and it holds on its own. To me, it's really not one spread, but two that work together nicely. And there's no doubt that they both highlight the color blue. I started the background by tearing my painted papers and using a glue stick, repositioned them onto the page. Then I used a gel pen to add asemic writing for interest. I also found this awesome house image from a collage sheet by artist Alyssa Grease and backed it with shimmery painted paper for a bit of cohesion and because I wanted to add that little bit of stitching as well. I spotted these vintage stamps to make the number 25, which was another serendipitous find. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention that I added a bit more sparkle to the focal point on the right. These were snippets from wrapping paper, and I thought the glitter added a nice touch. And that's my take for the one color prompt. I can't wait to see what color you choose, and I hope this has given you some ideas to try and implement or inspire you in some way. Thanks again, Meg, for inviting me to join you and everyone here, and to Kaylee for this collaboration with Get Messy. Take care, everyone, and stay creative. Bye.